Good morning to all you moms and other viewers out there. Today is going to be a baking day, and I'm going to have a friend over. She just texted me, and she's coming with her son who is going to play with my kids. And I just put on a load of laundry, and I'm going to do a little bit of work now before I'll start baking, and then I'm just going to do some mom stuff. It's Sunday here in our house today when I'm filming this, so I'm going to prep for the next week too. I'm not going to school tomorrow, so I also have that day, but we'll see how much I'll get done today. Well, this is how it looks when I'm working. Very focused. I work as a writer, writing search engine optimization and articles and stuff. Time to get some fresh air outside with the mule and the donkey. They are father and son, so they are not multiplying, but it looks a little bit weird what they are doing.
Just found this egg.
Woohoo! The first egg of the year.
Yeah, because it's very little, but compared to the others, it's very little, and looks like it almost has a crack up there.
That's nice.
And last thing, I feel like it's a long time since they shitted out an egg. Sorry, pooped out an egg.
That's because it's older hens. They don't lay eggs in winter. But that means spring is on the way. Vonne. Hun er en ged, hun er ingen hest. Tutter. Du var en ged, kan du af hende? Ja, det var godt. Skal hun have en krammer? Yeah. Det er Vonne. And the daily load of laundry is on. And then I just folded the laundry from the day before. Today I'm going to bake 3 things: French bread, buns for the kids' lunches, and some American chocolate cookies. The first thing I'm starting with is the dough for the French bread. The powder you saw me put in the bowl is like a sourdough powder, kind of, so you don't have to make a sourdough before you make the actual bread. Then I'm of course using yeast, and I'm using a little bit of salt and all-purpose flour and a little bit of sugar. Haley is like a mini chef. She loves baking so much. It's so cute. Sorry for the bad angle. I'll turn it around in a minute. Then I'm putting oil in it and some water. These carrots are for the buns to make them a little bit healthier and a little bit more interesting. I am mixing both whole wheat flour and all-purpose flour. If you only use the whole wheat flour, it can be a little bit dry and the texture is not going to be well. I think that I use the whole wheat flour for like a quarter or a third of all the flour. Even though I have a kitchen machine, I always use a regular spoon to get down to the bottom of the bowl. My kitchen machine is a Kenwood. I love it. It is so amazing, but it's not always it gets down to the bottom and get all the yeast and all the stuff up from the bottom of the bowl. If you have a kitchen machine, what brand is it? This is not a sponsored video, by the way. It's just like I got it from my mom when she passed away, but I have really enjoyed it. I've had it for how many years? Almost 8 years, I think I've had it. So I have no complaints about that. But I would like to know, what kind of kitchen machine do you have? What's the good things about it? What don't you like so much about it? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, it was just a little bit of oatmeal I added to the dough. And now it's time to shape the breads, the French bread. We have several things going on at the same time here. Here's a baking tip. Make sure that you don't use too much flour. It will make it difficult to shape the bread, and the bread will be dry and it's just not going to be good. I know this looks funny, but it's a method I have been using for a long time and it's working pretty well. Today I'm using these bread forms. I use them most of the time, but you can also just make the French bread on a baking tray. When the breads are brushed, you have to be very quick to put the seeds on it, because otherwise it won't stick to the dough. Then you carefully slice the bread so you can control where the cracks are going to be. And now it's time to get back to the buns. Meanwhile, the French bread are rising. I use 2 hands to form the buns just because it makes it twice as fast. And Haley is still helping. She is mostly just playing with the dough like Play-Doh. Now I'm adding cold water to a hot baking tray underneath the breads. That will make steam right away, and it will make another kind of surface on the French bread, which will be crispy and just delicious. And this is some pre-made liver pate I just reheated. And now the buns are placed in the baking tent and are rising with steam. on to the dessert. American chocolate chip cookies. And of course, Haley the mini chef is still helping. If you would like to have some of the recipes, just let me know and I will write it down for you. Now we're adding some brown sugar. And some regular sugar. And some eggs, and of course Haley wanted to crack an egg and it didn't went so well, so I had to take all the eggshells out of it again. But it's okay, she's having fun and she's learning. And of course some all-purpose flour. And the French spreads are done. Nice and crispy surface and a lot of air bubbles inside of the bread. And back to the cookies again and adding some baking powder and some vanilla sugar. And some baking soda. And of course some chocolate. You can make them without the chocolate, but we like to have them with chocolate. We just like chocolate in all kinds of desserts. Chocolate is the best. I'm currently looking for some new recipes on cookies and cakes, so if you have one you just think this is an amazing recipe, then just write it down in the comment or link it to me and I will check it out. These are so easy to make and it's one of my kids' favorites. According to the recipe they should be bigger, but I prefer making them smaller so they fit better for the kids. These are each about 40 grams.
How to game without getting greasy fingers.
Now the buns are done rising. Look at the difference. The final result of the buns. Haley is very fascinated about doctor things and stuff like that, so she and Mikkel was playing.
Okay. Så er det godt der.
finally the cookies are done as well, so done baking for today. Here you can see inside one of the buns. Look at all the air bubbles. Then we ended the day with some chili con carne for dinner. And this is pretty much the video I had for you today, guys. I will upload videos several times a week, and you can also find us on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to get more content from me, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye!